Welcome back to another episode of the White Sox March to October, and we're coming fresh off of our most dominant season ever. 4 straight World Series wins, 2 straight perfect postseasons, and then extending that back just a little bit further, 32 consecutive playoff wins. But now none of that is going to matter anymore because we're heading into the offseason. But I guess before we get there, I do have some wrapping up to do for season 4 that I put off until today's off-season episode. So let's go ahead and get into franchise mode so we can actually look at this stuff. And we're just going to take a quick second and look at the awards because this is always something you can't look at within March to October. Gotta wait till the end of the season. Usually I make some predictions about who wins things, but man, I don't really remember who had like specifically a good World Series because I mean, we already know they never give postseason or World Series MVP to a pitcher. Even if they're the most deserving ones, they don't get it. Always goes to a hitter. I think the overall postseason, it could probably go to Colin Houck. And then the big regular season awards. I feel like I remember Aaron Judge was going crazy. So I don't think any of our guys are going to win MVP. It's probably going to be him. But for Cy Young, that one's going to be interesting. It could be Zach Gallen. Could be Jared Schuster. I think those were really the only 2 legitimate contenders we would have had. So let's go ahead and find out here. What do we have? Actually, I always forget. But once you click on awards, you can also look at players of the month. And I'm always curious about this too. So let's hurry back to April. Pitcher of the month. We got pitcher of the month with Schuster. That was back in April. May, we didn't have anybody. June, it was Jake Eater. July, it was Gallen with a 1.31 ERA. That's a pretty dominant month. August, it was Gallen again, and then September, we didn't have anybody. So only pitchers of the month was what we were able to get. No rookies of the month, no players of the month. So let's look at the big ones now. I think it'll probably start us with World Series MVP if I remember right. So let's see. It was Shea Langeliers. That does make sense. Even though I think he only started in 2 of the 4 games because we faced 2 lefties and he doesn't start against lefties. He had a big enough impact. 2 homers, batted .429. The only 2 runs he drove in though was himself, but I think that second homer gave us the lead in game 4 if I remember right, and gave us the lead late. And what about overall postseason MVP? It is Colin Houck. Like I thought, 361 average, went deep twice, drove in 8. So now let's get on to the regular season stuff. MVP should be up next. And oh my god, it's Gallen. Are you kidding me? Aaron Judge batted .312 with 57 home runs, a .677 slugging, a .1077 OPS, 10.3 wins above replacement. Actually, that is crazy. He's been over 10 WAR every season of the March to October so far. But all that aside, they gave it to Gallen. I mean, yeah, he did. He went off. I do think this game is still stuck in the past a little bit, especially when it comes to pitcher awards. They really put a lot of weight in the win-loss record, and Gallen went 24-1, so that's going to pull a lot of weight. He also added, what would that be, 23 innings to his inning count from a year before. I guess he made 1 extra start. 265 strikeouts, 255 ERA, 11 complete games with 7 shutouts. That's ridiculous. I mean, March to October, when you say stuck in the past, the way it sims pitching is definitely stuck in the past because like you can see right when the March to October started, all of a sudden Gallen's racking up complete games. That doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would agree with this, but the way I feel doesn't matter. Zach Gallen is our first MVP of the White Sox March to October. How about NL MVP then? It was Spencer Strider. So the Braves have swept that award now for the last 3 years. Acuna twice and now Spencer Strider. You get starting pitcher MVPs in both leagues. Shohei got 300 strikeouts though. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that in a March to October. Major bounce back when it comes to pitching from the year before. I don't know why I'm focused on Shohei so much, but obviously he also does this. Maybe a little bit of a down year when it comes to hitting, but still really great hitting numbers. I don't know, man. He probably should have won it over Strider. I would think a comparable pitching season, then he just adds 30 home runs on top of it, or 30 whatever he hit. But I don't know. I guess the alternative would have just been another season of Judge and Shohei winning the MVP award. So I guess I appreciate the variety variety. All right, well, you would assume then if two pitchers won the MVPs, they'd also win the Cy Young Award. So yeah, Gallen wins it. NL, it's Strider. But hey, it's also cool to see us sweeping the Cy Young Awards over the last 3 seasons, and it's 3 different pitchers. Cease, then Woodruff, then Gallen. I don't remember season 1 if we won it. I feel like I would have remembered if we did. I don't think Cease went back to back. But you know what? Now I'm actually too curious to check. I'm extending the length of this video longer than it needs to be already. Cease did go back to back, so we have won the Cy Young Award every single season of this March to October. Anyway, though, back to where we left off. We got the batting title goes to Nolan Shanuel with a 343. We had a 357 average in the NL. Geraldo Perdomo's won it back-to-back years. Look at this dude. Reliever of the year goes to Crochet. We already knew that. 57 saves. I think that was tied for second all time. NL, it's Edwin Diaz, the guy who he's tied second all time with. And then we've got Rookie of the Year, which I don't think we really had any rookies. Our only rookie actually might have been Spencer Jones, but he didn't start, so he didn't have the chance. We already knew this winner too. I already saw that when we were facing the Yankees. NL, though, it's Tank Hentz. That's a real person. He had a 6.01 ERA, a 6.01 earned run average. Comes back to, again, the weight placed on win-loss record. He went 12-2. How do you go 12-2 with a 6.01 ERA? How did we keep the Cardinals bats quiet is the real question. Because yeah, dude, look at second place. This Michael Wong dude from the Cubs. 25 homers, 269 average, 342 on base. Actually, somehow this all translates to only a 0.3 wins above replacement, so I guess I still don't know how that statistic works. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Hank Aaron Award goes to Yordan. Vlad's at least on the list. Couldn't repeat though. And then Mookie Betts wins it in the NL. And I think we're on to, yeah, just Gold Gloves here. So let's rifle through these. We're not going to change league. Wow, Vlad finishing in the leaderboard for first base. Second base, no. Third base, no. Shortstop, no. No left field, center field, or right field. Dominic Fletcher couldn't repeat. So wow, no Gold Gloves this year. What about Silver Slugger though? We got to have one of those. Yeah, Austin Hayes wins it for DH. None of our guys finalists for catcher, but it is cool to see this dude, Leo Sierra, where he's at right now. Because longtime viewers would remember this dude was picked, I think, the pick right before me in the first draft, and he ended up being a generational talent. He's already a 92 overall at 21 years old. He just had a 35 homer season, and it was his 3rd season. First base, Vlad wins it for the 3rd straight year, maybe even the 4th straight year. Yeah, the 4th straight year. Ooh, none of our guys won it for second. We had the 2nd and 3rd place finishers there. Nobody for 3rd. Short. Robert finished... Well, I think this is actually like technically 5th place, because I think for Silver Slugger outfield, it's just top 3 outfielders, so he must have been the 5th one on the list. And if he didn't win it, I'm guessing, yeah, none of our guys would have won it. That is some crazy hitting seasons, though, from these 3 outfielders that did win it. And Trout, man, I mean, Trout didn't win anything. He's still putting up numbers, though. 35 years old, regression starting to hit. He's still 94 overall, but he's up over 500 homers now. 512. He's already past 2,000 hits. He did that last season. 129.6 career WAR by now. I mean, this is what would happen if he could stay healthy. But yeah, that's it then when we're talking about awards. So that obviously took longer than I thought it would, because I always get carried away with that sort of thing. And now the focus shifts to the offseason. I'm going to stay on the franchise screen for now, though, just because it's easier to see what's going on. But looking at the depth chart, we've got that helpful little symbol next to the people who are going to be free agents. The big ones, Luis Robert. We're also losing Jordan Montgomery, Clay Holmes, and Phil Maton. And I've thought for a while about what I want to do about this offseason, and I'm not going to handle it exactly the same as I handled last offseason, where the whole plan was just put 3 players, fill up my targeting list right away, and those were the only 3 I could go after. This season, the focus is on the future. Jerry wants to make a bit more money. He's like, man, we've won 4 straight years in a row. We've built this brand. Now we can slash salary, turn even more of a profit. But really what that means means is I'm going to focus on trying to keep spots open for guys we've drafted, guys coming up through our system. So the only free agents I'm going to let myself go after are relief pitchers. So yeah, that means Robert's not coming back. That means Montgomery's not coming back. But I said at the end of last episode that I want to get 2 more seasons out of this March to October. That's the plan, at least. And I've still never seen a player that I've drafted make it to the MLB in a March to October. So I don't know. I kind of just want to get the chance for that to happen. I kind of also don't want to just continue putting the most dominant team on the field that I can. I guess that was kind of the strategy last season, though, and then we ended up having an even better season. So yeah, I'm not gonna bring back Robert. I'm not gonna look for any other external free agents to fill those spots. We're just gonna let our system call up guys. At least hopefully that's what's gonna happen. I guess with this mode and how it works, we have just as good of a chance of it auto signing some veteran that I wouldn't want on the team and then like erasing my draft picks from existence like they did with Connie Kang. But then yeah, since you don't really draft relief pitchers and you don't really have any coming up through the system, I will sign some relief pitchers. We should have like 3 spots open. Let's just get into the off season. I just backed all the way out. Didn't mean to do that. Or did I? I don't even know. Let's just get into the off season though, and then we'll see what we're targeting here. We would have almost $70 million of budget. Luis Robert is the #1 free agent though, heading into free agency, above Adley actually. For some reason, he's not asking for as much money. He's also not asking for as much money as Geraldo Perdomo per year. But still, it would take almost $40 million to re-sign Luis Robert Jr., which we have. It's not like we don't have that. It's just that's not our focus. So now that we're officially in the off season, those dudes are gone. This is what our team looks like without them, except it's not fully accurate because Lazaro's there. We would have Spencer Jones at least somewhere on the roster. I don't know where everybody's going to play, but that leaves us with, like I thought, 3 bullpen spots left to fill, or maybe more if we wanted like Tyler Wells to get out of here. I guess also I'm not factoring in the probable Davy Garcia return. Look, they're not even showing me him until 2031, but he'll probably be back once again, won't he? All right, so yeah, if it wasn't obvious, this is going to be a pretty laid back, not too intense off season. Although look at some of these top names when it comes to closing pitchers. I mean, I did say that was all I was going to target is relievers and closers. So I mean, could I really bring in Duran, Camilo Doval, Andres Munoz, Felix Bautista? I mean, I definitely have the money for it. I have the room on the team for it, and that fits the strategy that I want to go for. Felix Bautista, though, was actually really bad last season. That's weird because he was really good the season before. Munoz had 2 really good seasons and then 2 solid seasons. Camilo Doval, he's been relatively consistent. Last season was his best one, though. And then Duran, he's kind of been up and down. Let's just see what this looks like if I fill my board though with 3 of them. I'll probably leave out Felix Bautista, and we've got our positional and team needs set up. They're all righty power pitchers, so we get the most interest possible. Even the bronze, the 3rd option, gets plus 5% interest. So I think I'm just gonna put these guys on the board. We'll see where we stand after 1 week of simming. I mean, chances are at least one of these guys, that last chance thing is going to pop up. And I'm not always the luckiest person with those. So it's not a guarantee we get all these guys. It's not even a guarantee we get any of them. But hopefully I at least get to see where the interest is at after a week. Hopefully they don't all have a last chance thing to pop up. Our first sign, or not our first, but the first signing of the offseason though, is coming to our division with Sandy Alcantara. That's not great news. 97 overall, still putting up pretty good numbers. Last season was actually his best probably of the March to October so far. Oh, and Adley also signed right away too. He went to the Reds. And no other signings, no last chance with our guys. And Duran and Munoz, they're both interested enough that I could offer them a deal right away. Doval's going to need a little bit of work. And let's see, there's usually signings that went under the radar, like, yeah, Luis Robert, that one didn't pop up. Or it's probably going to pop up after 1 day, simming the next day or whatever. But he goes to the Astros. That just feels like a betrayal. Like, I know maybe I betrayed him by not even considering bringing him back, but the Astros? Really? All right, well, I'm probably not going to offer any contracts yet, but if I did, what are we looking like for Duran here? If I bumped it all the way up, we can only offer him a max of 5 years. Don't really care about the money. I would offer him, I mean, I don't really care about the years either if we're only planning on two more of actually playing, so yeah, I would have not really a problem at all offering the max really to anybody. I mean, that's especially right now, the offseason is not very strategic. Doesn't need to be. So I'm just going to advance another week. We'll build up interest. We'll see if any of them have a last chance. And then, yeah, there's where those signings pop up. It happened on the day. So Shane Bieber also goes to the Padres. Man, and then really no more signings again happen all week. No last chances, no other signings that were big enough to make the screen. I mean, yeah, there's just a couple one-year deals here. And then I'm assuming starting with this McClanahan one, that'll pop up next. But McClanahan to the Phillies, Manoah to the Pirates, and then Christian Javier to the D-backs. I mean, that just saying the team names, that doesn't really help us too much anymore because this is about to be 5 seasons deep of teams looking different. But all right, we'll go another week. And if we make it a week without a last chance for anybody again, we'll be at the point where we could offer a contract to Doval because you need 50% interest. He's 6% away, and that's what he's about to get. We already looked at these. I guess we didn't really look at the Yandy Diaz one going to the Dodgers. He's still an 89 overall at 36 years old. Oh, and then there we go. Of course, of course, it's with Doval specifically that is the last chance that pops up. I'll probably still offer to him, and I'll probably offer as much as I can. Because, like, yeah, we don't really have to worry about the money. We have plenty of that. We're only playing 2 more years. So we don't have to worry about the years. 61% interested. I'm offering it. Let's see if we can get lucky and bring him in. I mean, the colors match up if that matters. Nope, and he goes to a division rival. Come on. So they signed Sandy Alcantara. Now they signed Doval. At least, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say anything. I was going to say at least they won't be getting Duran back. Man, that sucks. I was excited for him. Maybe more than the other two. 6 years, 52 mil. So they offered him 1 extra year, but like $10 million less dollars. That's a terrible deal to accept. Maybe he just likes it in Minnesota. Who knows? We got a Marsh signing to the Marlins. He's a 91 overall these days. Wow. Glaber goes to the Rangers. Seiya Suzuki to the Pirates. And then Nick Sandlin to the Phillies. And we got one more big signing before the next week starts up. Geraldo Perdomo goes to the Astros. So, man, the Astros, they are building something. Signing Robert, now signing Perdomo. We lose Bautista too because you can only put 3 on the list. We had Doval on the list, lose out on Doval, and then Bautista signs before I can even put him on the list, before he can even go on my radar to get a last chance at him. I don't know. Maybe that's for the best. Maybe we would have just been too unfair and overpowered. Maybe you would have taken opportunities away from someone else. Although we do have another spot open now, so I could look at some other options. We might need one more lefty. Because, I mean, looking at our depth chart, our 2 best arms, we have Tanner Scott, we have Garrett Crochet, 2 lefties, but then that's it. And if I were to sign those other 3 guys, those were all righties. We do have, though, my guy I drafted, Darius Akwija, who 75 overall lefty. That's plenty good to play, but I'm not optimistic that the CPU is going to know what to do with that because it never does. They're not going to bring him up. So yeah, I'll still go after Duran. I'll go after Munoz, but I'll probably add a lefty here in the 3rd spot. And there's no lefty closers. AJ Minter's actually coming off of a really good season. It's just he's only a 76. He's kind of getting up there. Like if he was regressing already like this last season, now that he's a year older, he's probably going to regress quicker. He'll be like a 72, 73 by the end of the year. Because that's what we got to think about, especially with regressing people. What's their overall going to be come postseason time? Because I don't want to say it's a guarantee, but it's almost a guarantee we make the postseason. I mean, we could get like 30 games worse than we were last year and still win the division. So the focus is on the playoffs. And I guess Caleb Ferguson's right next to him. He's 3 overall higher, 3 years younger. He actually was still progressing as of last season. 92 hits per 9's good. Had a good season. This might be the dude I go after. Sam Henches is here too, though. Same age, 1 overall less. although he did slightly regress last season. Maybe he has a better pitch mix though. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up between Ferguson and Hentges. It's like, what do I value more? The attributes, which is what Ferguson has, or like the pitch mix and how I feel like I could pitch with them? Because I feel like I could pitch better with Sam Hentges with those 4 pitches, but his attributes are worse. I think I'm gonna go Hentges. That's just what I'm feeling right now. Oh, and actually, I kind of forgot, you can almost completely bypass finding out what the initial interest is, because if you just click on him right away, I can see that I can offer him a contract, so it's over 50%. Then when I click that, shows me exactly how interested he is. So knowing that he's at 61 already, we'll just leave him in that 3rd spot, because I still value getting those other 2 guys more. So we'll advance another week, and the Astros get another signing. They're starting to scare me, I'm not gonna lie. Logan Gilbert now signs with them, and Ferguson, okay. Really? Ferguson to the Dodgers, but now that means I'm locked in with my Sam Hentges pick. There's no losing out on him and then falling back on Ferguson. Jose Leclerc is reaching out to me. I'm not really interested in bringing him in, at least not with who I'm currently targeting. Maybe if those fall through, that'd be an interesting one. He is getting up there in age. Held off regression though last year, like his pitch mix. He's actually put up some really good numbers in our 4 March to October seasons. Yep, definitely worth keeping that one in mind if we end up not getting one of our other 2 big arms. But I don't know, that's looking more and more likely that we will get them, because 75%, 72%. We don't forget we have the guaranteed accept offer, or you get one of them, so one of the 2. But right now, if we max out the Duran offer, that's 92%, so pretty much 1 more week and we could get him 100%. But yeah, now especially with no one to fall back on, there's no reason to make any offers now, so we'll go another week. Chances are these are really the only 3 guys at this point that I'm gonna care about, and well, there it is. Last chance opportunity with Yohan Duran. I don't think I'm going to use the guaranteed. I don't think I need to, just knowing that I can get him up to 92. I mean, there's still probably at least a slight chance that Munoz could have this pop up in this same week too. And if that happens, he was less interested. He'd be less likely to accept the max offer, so I could save the guaranteed for him. Although, do I just want to make sure I lock up Duran? 91 overall, 8 potential. He could continue to get better. At worst, he's going to stay where he's at. 99 hits per 9, 96 clutch. Do I want to just lock him up? Because I could. Yeah, you know what, I will. Especially losing out on Doval, who is the other above 90 overall guy. Especially since this means I can stick it to the Twins. You know, they got Doval from me, but I'll actually be taking Duran from them, because that's where he was. I'm going to do it. I'm going to guarantee an accepted offer here. We're going to pay Yohan Duran 5 years, $13.5 million a year. And let's just go ahead and make sure we can bring him in. That's our only one, our only guaranteed accept, but hopefully I've just used it wisely. And I mean, if you think just year over year upgrades overall wise, that's a big upgrade over Clay Holmes, which is what we had in our bullpen. We kind of just had those 3 big arms: Scott, Crochet, Clay Holmes. Even if we don't get Munoz, we're at least back to having 3 big arms, but Munoz would give us that 4th big arm. All right, and let's see about Munoz. If I were to max out the offer to him, we're up to 96%. That's feeling pretty good. Although the max years for him is 7, but that's still fine. That's whatever. All right, so let's go another week then. Bryson Stott to the Dodgers. So man, who have they gotten so far? Because they got Yandy Diaz, now they've got Stott. They also signed Ferguson. Alexis Diaz, 86 overall to the Pirates. Alex Lang stays in the division but goes to KC. Pablo Lopez to the D-backs, and then Lars Nootbaar, he's going to the Mets. And of course, here's our last chance opportunity with Munoz. I'm maxing it out. I'm making sure we get him 7 years, 803 a year, 96%. I mean, he's got to accept it. If we lose a 96%, okay, yeah, I was gonna say Andres Munoz is a sock. And then that's our 4th big arm. So now we probably have the best bullpen we've had yet in this March to October. Only guy left on our list is Sam Hentges. And I don't know, man. I kind of I kind of want to add Leclerc. I'm not going to lie. Looking at him and what he's done was a little intriguing. But no, I'm going to add Leclerc just to gauge the interest. I mean, we already kind of know he's interested because he came to me. 74% already. Bump down the years to 2. Bump up the money. That's 83% right there. I mean, that's good. And I don't know if we'd have the spot for him because now we are at the point where Tyler Wells has all of his options used up, so he probably can't get sent down. So that would just mean missing out on Joe Barlow again. But if we miss out on Barlow for Leclerc, I'd feel a little bit better because it's not quite missing out on him for Davy Garcia. I also, who knows, like, especially Tyler Wells now, if he needs to stay up, if Davy Garcia needs to stay up. I'm making all these signings. What's going to happen? You know, like, what's going to happen if the game forces a certain amount of people to stay in the bigs? Are they going to start sending down guys like Schuster, guys like Eater who have options available? That would make me mad. But at this point, I wouldn't put anything past the game. They take away draft picks. If they take away my #1 pick in the first draft, they can do anything. We won't worry about that for now, though. We'll just advance another week. I don't even know if I'm going to be signing Leclerc. I'm just putting him on there purely out of interest. And I guess if we don't get Henches, then we would need that one more arm, which would be Leclerc. Brewers get another starter. Bailey Ober going to San Francisco. Tyler Stevenson to the Phillies. So that must mean JT's done there. Was he already? And I just forget what teams look like. Probably. I'm assuming we could max out Henches. I don't want to give him 7 years though, with him being 31. I would like to bump that down to 3. Again, not like it matters a ton, but you know, I still want to have somewhat realistic offers. And I do think the 2 offers I've made so far are, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't think offering a relief pitcher 7 years is all that realistic. I think the money is realistic. I don't know about the 7 years. All right, so let's go one more week. And then we should be able to lock up Henches 100%. I would assume Trevor Rogers to the Nationals. Angels get Joe Ryan, and then Jake Bowers goes to the Rays. And then we're back to our next week. Now it's Joel Payamps who's coming crawling to us. We don't need him. Henches is attracting offers, though, from some other teams, which I don't think he was until this point. But I think I can probably lock him up. Yeah, 100%. We don't even have to go full on the money. I don't even feel the need to wait an extra week to bump it down. I mean, what's that, like 300K? We have plenty of money in our budget. So yeah, let's get this guaranteed here. 100% interest, 3 years. 3.02 mil per year. Get that other lefty in our bullpen, because I'm assuming the game won't give us Darius Aquija, and there we go. Sam Henches, he's here. And we do still have Leclerc on the board. The 2-year offer would get him 97% interested. I just don't know. I don't know what that would do to our team. Like, I feel like if we sign one extra player like this, the CPU is just gonna like freak out. Like, my PlayStation's gonna start smoking from the ends because it's not gonna know what to do. I mean, ideally, if I did it, I'd get Leclerc. I wouldn't have Tyler Wells. I wouldn't have Davy Garcia. I'm just worried that things aren't going to work out perfectly, and I'm going to end up with no Joe Barlow, stuck with Tyler Wells, stuck with Davy Garcia, and then who knows, maybe that would mean no Dustin May, because he has his options available, and I would like to have Dustin May available to pitch in the starting rotation next season. I think that's the plan with him. I don't know, man. Let's go one more week. I might still try and sign Leclerc. I mean, he's so good. Dodgers make a move. Alex Kirilloff, that's kind of funny. He's still going in this when he retired in real life after the 2024 season. Now he's going strong into 2028. All right, we did make it a full extra week, and now it's Phil Maton. This one's a little tougher to turn down just because of how good he was for me last season. CPU auto signing. 5th different team in 5 years, and he just decided to turn it on here with a 1.15 ERA. But no, regression started to get him. He's a year older. Regression's definitely going to get him now. I mean, if we're signing another reliever, it's going to be Leclerc, so no. And Leclerc's 98. I'm just gonna offer him. I don't care. Let the CPU figure it out. Whatever happens, happens. I'm signing Leclerc. I don't care. He's good. He's 83 overall. He's got 4. That's really what makes me want to have Leclerc. every single season of this March to October, he put up good numbers. I mean, I know I already showed this, but look at this. All 4 seasons, worst ERA was 2.77. But that should spell the end of our offseason because, like I said, I'm only signing relievers. I'm going to let the team bring up to fill out these positions, starters. I really don't think we've left any spots open that the CPU is going to feel like it needs to sign somebody to fill. I mean, I know here it looks like center field is kind of a hole, but we have Spencer Jones, who's a 78. You would really hope the game recognizes that and doesn't feel the need to do anything else, but who knows, man? Who knows? I'm not gonna hit this skip rest of the offseason button though. We'll go through these last couple weeks on our own. Another signing by the Astros, Josiah Gray. Oh, and now it's Clay Holmes reaching out to me. Been on our team for the last 3 years in a row, but he got progressively worse every single year. Regression's gonna hit him harder. We don't need him. We already made all of our signings. I think we got 2 more weeks. This was week 11. Oh, and I accidentally went past the day where people signed. Dominic Smith, though, to the Angels, he's actually turned into kind of a nice veteran player here. I was looking at him earlier because I think he won the Gold Glove. Oh, now it's Minter reaching out to us. We don't need him either. Let's see, though. What were the signings I missed? Probably this one. Jeremy Pena to the Braves. His potential went down, though, to a B. Yeah, he did. He had a terrible season. All right, we have 1 more week then to get through. And we got 1 more signing. Angels signing Matt Manning. He's an 85 overall. Not like super impressive, but 4.14 ERA was his best yet, so he's getting better. Angels still trying to do what they can. I feel like they've been on the cusp for maybe a couple seasons now. Final day, didn't even have really any other signings happen, so we will just advance. We should be coming up on December 33rd. Actually, no, that happens. Oh, there was another signing and I missed it. I forgot there are more signings that happen. Reed Detmers to the Cubs, though. Didn't miss that one. That's actually kind of a big signing. He's an 88 overall. Hasn't been that great. Lourdes Gurriel to a division rival. Cal Raleigh to the Mets. Man, there were some good veteran options still out there. Leody Taveras. Rengifo to San Diego. Dylan Carlson to the Rangers. John Means to the Dodgers. I wish I would have seen what that first one was that I skipped past. We got more here. 84 overall, Brendan Donovan to the D-backs. I feel like the D-backs have made some moves too. Montgomery goes to the Rays. Arenado to the Tigers coming into the division. Musgrove to the Rays. That's a couple veteran starters Rays signed there. Teoscar going to Cleveland in our division. I feel like they've made a couple signings here right at the end. Gavin Lux to Baltimore. Cal Quantrill. I feel like we're kind of down to the point where it doesn't really matter a ton, although Nick Madrigal, he's still finding work. All right, how much more do we have? Are we gonna have 1 more day of people signing, or was that it? We do have 1 more signing, Colby Allard to Cleveland, and now we're gonna be coming up on, wow, they actually have the leap year happen on the correct year, February 29th, 2028. But they gave me a 5-star offseason just signing relief pitchers. It doesn't show any other key additions here, so hopefully that means the CPU didn't sign anybody that's going to make the major league team, but we can check that. Let's go scroll over to us. We do have a couple extra guys that got signed. I don't know if any of them are gonna, I don't think they're gonna threaten the major league squad. I mean, they are gonna steal up some 40-man spots, which sucks. We don't need 65 overall Reese McGuire on the 40-man. We don't need 63 overall Noah Syndergaard on the 40-man. Let's get some of our young guys on the 40-man. Jeremy Bench. I don't know, he's just the first one that comes to mind because I think he was a 79 overall. But no, we gotta have Noah Syndergaard at a 63 and getting worse. And I guess that's about it for the offseason then, because as soon as I hit advance, we're heading into the next season. We've got the Twins to face on opening day, and I guess that's that. And on opening day here, it's actually the Guardians that are projected to be our best competition. 89 projected wins. The Twins actually aren't projected to be a threat at all. I thought they finished in second last year. Maybe I'm mixing up them in Cleveland though. I don't know. But I'm going to hold off from looking at the roster right now. I'll probably do that on my own time then we'll play opening day, and then inevitably I'll have something to rant about when it comes to the roster after opening day. But I don't want to get into that rant now when we've already been going for however long it's been. So for now, just remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment with any thoughts you have. But I'm ready to defend this title once again. We're going for 5 straight to tie the record. It's January, it's the end of January, but we're still going strong on the Sox March to October. So guys, thanks for watching as always. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time.